Item 2, Financial Services and Markets Bill, second reading.
Minister of State Alvin Tan. Leader of Opposition.
I had made a request for Ms. He Ting
Oh,
Ru
yes,
to make
that's
a
right.
clarification before the next bill.
Yes. Ms. He Ting Ru. I beg your pardon.
Thank you for allowing me to make this clarification. I have checked my records and notes and refer to a recent case of a resident who came down to seek help during my MPS earlier this year. I subsequently wrote in to CPF for assistance with this. Due to his medical conditions, he was prescribed various medications for these chronic conditions, which, despite the various subsidies and claims of Medisave available to him, he was unable to avoid paying for, as there remained a residual cash payment that he was required to make. He therefore hoped to be able to increase the claimable limits by an additional $500, and this was the request that I conveyed. He also said to me that because of his situation, he previously asked for medications to be deleted because he could not afford it. This is also contained in my letter. As of now, I cannot say for certain if CPF has responded to this particular appeal, as I will need to access my physical records to check if a reply letter has been sent by CPF. Mr. Speaker, this case is a specific example of a resident who made a request to cut back on medications as they believe they cannot afford it, perhaps due to a lack of awareness of the help available, or else a lack of confidence in making the necessary applications and appeals. Thank you.
SMS Koh Poh Koon.
Mr. Speaker, I thank Ms. He Ting Ru for adding more context to her anecdote that she shared in the speech. I note that she has referred this resident of hers who has issues with out-of-pocket charges to CPF for further assistance. But I suggest that actually that might not be the correct place for referring the patient for further help. Let me just give some background. In 2021, after we enhanced Medisave 700 per year of claims, we note that in our database, about 9 in 10 of patients who use Medisave actually for their CDMP conditions, chronic medical conditions, actually do not reach the limit. So this patient of yours, this particular resident may well have fallen out of the scheme, or it could be one where the medications are more unique and special. I raise this because I was a little bit concerned that in your speech you make this claim that the patients choose to cut down on the dosages, and I thought that would not be medically sound, because most doctors wouldn't reduce the dose of medication. They may reduce the duration, but not certainly the dosage. In this case, I think if this patient has residual out-of-pocket costs that he or she is unable to bear, may I suggest you perhaps send me the details of this patient. We can take a look and see how we can actually bring the resources that he or she might not be aware of, because there could be alternative medications, there could well be more subsidized medications in our polyclinics. And in fact, if this patient is elderly, 75% of our outpatient charges are already subsidized. If the elderly patient is a Merdeka or Pioneer generation, they will get at least a further 50% or 25%, whether they are Pioneer or Merdeka generation subsidies. So I think that we will try all our means to help this patient get access to the care that he or she needs. And I appreciate if Ms. He can send me the details of this patient.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much for your clarification.